Hey everyone, today we're Dutch oven cooking. I'm making George and Carolyn Dumler's spiced rubbed pork loin with corn and avocado salsa on the Cooking Everything Outdoors show. The Cooking Everything Outdoors show is sponsored by Camp Chef at OutdoorCooking.com and IslandGrillstone.com. So a quick story behind George and Carol Dumler. I met them at the World Championship Dutch Oven Cook-Offs a few years back. And just this past year, I had the great fortune of being able to assist them while they cooked at the World Championships. Now, when I was done, they brought me their cookbook, which is the Southwest Dutch Oven Cookbook. And it's autographed, and I cherish this. And I looked through this from cover to cover, and there's so many great recipes in there. But I pulled out two that I thought were very unique and should just pack a ton of flavor for this recipe, or for this cook, with their recipes today. Ingredients wise, this couldn't be simpler. What you're going to need is about 3 pounds of pork tenderloin, and I've cut them in serving size portions. You will also need some corn husks, and you can buy these dry, and I soak these so that they're nice and pliable, and I've rinsed them off. And we're making a rub from scratch. Now you'll need 2 teaspoons of cumin seed, 4 teaspoons of whole coriander seeds, and 2 teaspoons of black peppercorns. Well, what I did was I roasted the cumin and the coriander until they were aromatic and they started to turn a little bit brown. And then I ground those up with the black peppercorns, and that gives us the base of our rub. You'll need a quarter cup of chili powder, 4 teaspoons of sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon seasoned salt, half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And we just simply mix our dry ingredients up. And that's our dry rub. And now we're simply going to apply our rub to the pork tenderloin. Be fairly generous on this. So we want a good coating of all the pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap our pork tenderloin that we've just seasoned with this very aromatic rub, and we're going to wrap them in the corn husks. So just take one of your pieces, and you're going to very simply wrap it in the corn husk. And just like you would with a corn on the cob where you're going to make a handle out of the husk, we want to take one of our husks and tear a strip from it. And then I want to very simply tie this off. So here we go. We have them all wrapped, tied off, ready to go. Now I'm going to put these in my 12-inch Camp Chef Dutch oven. I'm going to be using about 9 coals on the bottom and roughly 15 coals on top, or a perimeter around there. These are going to cook for about 25 to 35 minutes till they reach 145 to 150 on the inside. And I'll check them when the time gets close. We'll just layer them in our Dutch oven. Well, it's been about 25 minutes, and I want to check these out. Oh my gosh, the smell is absolutely amazing. Okay, 151 there. They are ready to pull. So let's put our salsa together. So you're going to need to pre-roast an ear of corn on the cob. And that's what I have right here. I'm going to need a half a cup of diced tomato, and then 1 jalapeno, half a cup of red onion. You could cut this finely if you'd like. I like mine a little bit on the chunky side. A little tablespoon plus of chopped cilantro, 1 large avocado, diced up, and some salt. We'll need some lime. And we want to very carefully mix all this up. Ah, it's looking good. A little bit of our salsa on there. So this is George and Carolyn Dumler's recipe, and it smells incredible. It's spicy. It's looks absolutely incredibly tender. Oh man. Got a nice little edge of heat there, not a lot. So that's it. I'm gonna go pop a beer or two, and I'll see you when I see you.